Hello, Liz again from Healthy ADHD and a Dose of Healthy Distraction. I've been getting all these emails lately asking me how I got started writing and researching and talking about ADHD, and then also why I started the whole Feel Better Fast program. And for those that don't know, my Feel Better Fast program is my sort of emotional management system program that I am helping to share with people because um, there is a story behind it, and there is a reason why I do it the way I do. And the great part is that nothing I do is, special or unique in the sense that it's unattainable. Anybody can do it. Anyone can do what I did, and that's why I started the program. But I made a couple notes for myself here. So this is the backstory about why I started Feel Better Fast, and a little bit more about me, just to help you to understand. So this is how I got started. I knew, I believe, about almost 30, 28, 29 years ago at this point, that I had ADHD. I was told by a doctor. I was diagnosed. I was pretty young, like sixth grade. I knew what ADHD was. I was given some basic information. I was given some medication, but I couldn't quite understand why I was feeling terrible about myself. Like no matter what I did or how hard I worked, I had this sort of underlying depression. I had this sort of underlying feeling about myself and the diagnosis and what it meant for me going forward. In high school, and even in middle school, I took medications. I took all the ADHD medications and some antidepressant medications. But I still couldn't understand why I couldn't manage why I couldn't manage myself. And I just couldn't articulate what was going on with me. I did start to see a therapist first in college, and then in my 20s. It was I saw two, but they were both cognitive behavioral therapists. And during that time, I started to really think about, certain events from my childhood and adolescence, and how I had taken those specific events and sort of built them up in my mind and sort of developed these unhealthy core beliefs, as a doctor would call them, a psychologist would call them core beliefs. I developed some really unhealthy core beliefs about myself based on the fact that I had ADHD and that I had experienced, X, Y, and Z things. So I always struggled with this self-doubt and this shame. And eventually, the more I worked with a therapist and the more I really started to practice some of the techniques and the things I was learning and reading about, I started to feel a little more balanced. I started to feel a little bit more better, a little bit more confident. And I decided that I really wanted to share some of it. And I also wanted to meet other women that had gone through similar, not the same, but similar struggles. And so I created the website. I started reading a lot. I have probably spent thousands of dollars on books about ADHD written by doctors and researchers. I spend a lot of time like researching, cyber stalking the experts, like the ones I have on my expert list, listening to podcasts, all kinds of online, expos and things. And I really felt like, oh my God, it's all coming together for me. Here's my cat. The cat's going to try to come up. And I didn't want to keep all of it to myself. So I kept working, and I kept sort of writing down and journaling and figuring out how I could teach this to other people. And I sort of experimented on some of my coaching corner girls and that sort of thing. And I created a community. That was always my dream. I always wanted a community so that we could talk about all the things in sort of a safe space. And then Feel Better Fast sort of came to me one day, and that I could show people what I had done. This is Earl. I could show people what I had done for myself. And so I started to write it down. I started to look for even more sources and books and research about cognitive behavioral therapy and ways to calm your mind and retrain your mind and feel more balanced and in control of yourself. So that's where it came from. I hope that answers the question. Feel Better Fast, I only take a few people at a time because I like to I like to really devote my attention and my time and my energy to individuals. So I usually take, anywhere from 2 to 8 people at a time. I'm always open to enrollment. Although I actively do it about every 8 or 10 weeks, I'm always open, and I'm always open to talk to people to see if I can accommodate. Any other questions about my personal history and Feel Better Fast, um, email me at healthyadhd@gmail.com, and I would be glad to discuss it with you. But that is my ADHD story, and that is like how the whole Feel Better Fast thing actually got started.